Hello everyone, in this video we are going to look over Python, one of the most popular programming languages at the moment. Even if you don't have any coding or programming background, this video is for you because Python is so easy that anyone can learn it and anyone can do it. So, before starting, make sure you have installed Python into your computer. Visit the official website, download it and install it. Just some simple installation steps, hit next, 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 and it's going to be done. To check if everything went fine, you'll go to your terminal, just type Python version, which is going to bring you the current version that is running on your computer. In my case, 3.14. So this is the proof that Python is ready to go. Now let's create our first Python script. I'm going to go to my desktop. I will just create a folder. I'll name it Python. You can run it anywhere. I will open this folder into terminal and just type code space dot. This is going to open VS Code in this folder. Okay. So let's create our first Python script. I will just create a new file, script.py. You can name it anything. I just named it script. Okay, and before starting scripting in Python, I advise you to install the Python extension for VS Code, which is going to be very handy because it will allow you to run the code straight from here, from the bottom. Variables, like in any other programming languages, are used to store data. So think of them as containers or boxes where you can store something with names. So names of the variables helps you identify them when you call them. For example, I will create a variable name, which will be equal to a string or a text, Andre, a variable age, which will be equal to 28, and a variable of pi, which equals 3.14. So I have three variables with three different data types. When I will call the value of name, so print is a function which allows you to print something. Yeah. So I want to print the value of name. I'm calling the name of the variable, which will print me its value. Okay, let's just copy and paste. I will print age. And I will print pi. I will just hit run and I've got in my terminal printed Andre 28 3.14, the values of my variables. In Python, if you are trying to name variables, you have to follow a convention. It is recommended to use lowercase, and if you have more than one word, it is recommended to use underscore to separate the words. For example, variable is major, yeah, so it's two words, so I'm gonna use is underscore major equals true because I'm over 18. Data types. In Python we have several data types that you will use over all the time. Right here I've got 5 variables of different data types. The first one is string, which is basically a text. So we are using double quotes or single quotes to show that this is a text. The second one is integer, which is a whole number. So as long as a number doesn't have decimals, it's an integer. The next one is float, which are numbers with decimals, as example 3.14 or any other number with decimals. Then we've got boolean, which can be only true or false. And the last one is list, which allows us to store multiple values into a single variable. So right here we've got the variable fruits, and the value of this variable, it's a list with square brackets, which basically this is the syntax that allows you to create a list. And inside the square brackets we've got 3 items: apple, banana and cherry. Okay, let's actually print the type of each variable to see if this is actually true and it is working. So we will print. We've got a function type, which allows us to print the type of a variable. So we'll print the type of variable text. Let's copy paste fast. So it's number, decimal, is Python easy and fruits. Okay, I'm gonna run it, and we get printed the types of each variable: string, int, float, boolean, list. Now let's look over logic statements. Logic statements help your code make decisions based on conditions. So you can use if, elif, and else to control what happens based on conditions. Okay, let's give an example. I will create a variable age which will be equal to 18, and we are going to check, we're checking for a condition if age double equals, which means actually comparing if two values are equal. If age equal 18, I will use colon and hit enter. As you can see, this code is indented, so everything that comes after colon in a new line has to get these 4 lines, otherwise you'll get an error. Okay, print. You can enter the club. You can enter the club. Yeah, because your age is equal to 18. Okay, we can actually add more conditions using elif. Elif age it's less than 18. Let's print. You cannot enter the club. Dot too young. Okay, and else actually means is if all the condition fails, the code is gonna run what is inside else. So it's gonna run print you can enter the club. Okay, let's add something to differentiate from the first check. You are over 18. Okay, if I'm gonna run the code, right now I am 18, yeah? Run the code. You can enter the club because the variable age equals to 18. Now let's change it and make it 15. I'm gonna run it again. You cannot enter the club. Too young. Okay, so the elif worked. Now let's check for 25. So 25, it's greater than 18 and it's not equal to 18. That means it's gonna print what is inside else. Print, you can enter the club, you are over 18. The next very important topic are loops. Loops help you repeat actions without writing the same code again and again. Okay, so let's look over the for loop. So the syntax actually is for I, we have to give a parameter in range 5. So the magic of for is if you know how many times you want to repeat a piece of code, this is actually going to help you because right here inside the brackets you can indicate how many times you want to run it. Okay, similar to if, we need colon, enter. So the code inside 4 blocks are also indented with those 4 spaces. And let's print, for example, hello 5 times. Print hello 5 times. Play. Hello 5 times. We can also actually add the parameter. Play. Yes. Now let's suppose you want to loop as long as a condition is true. Here while comes in the game. So, for example, I will have a variable counter which will be equal to 0. And I want to repeat a piece of code as long as the condition is true. So this is what while stands for. While counter, it's less than 8, for example. I want to repeat it 8 times. Let's print okay, hello also. Let's keep it simple. And be careful, if you are not updating the variable, so we have to do counter plus equals to 1, you can end up in an infinite loop because counter will never get 8. If you are not increasing, so if you are not incrementing the variable, counter will stay 0 and this will loop forever because it will never get to 8. Play, and it worked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now let's talk about functions. Functions helps you organize the code. The cool things about function is the reusability. You can use them over and over again. You create it once and use it as much as you want. Let's create a very basic function. I'm going to use def, which is the keyword that tells Python that the name of the function is coming after. Def greet. Let's receive a parameter message and we will print message. Okay, we can call this function over and over again as much as we need it. For example, greet hello. Greet, nice to see you. Greet, hi. Okay, we must call the functions. If we are not going to call the function will still exist, but it's not going to work. So calling the function is very important, and this is how you do it. Let's print it, and we've got hello, nice to see you, and hi, because I called it 3 times. Now let's talk about pass. Pass is a keyword which allows you to keep your function empty as much as you need it. Let's suppose you want to create a function or a loop, but you are not ready to add some code inside that function. So I'm gonna remove those lines, and now I have a function greet which is actually empty. As you can see, I'm getting a red line right here and it's saying expected indented. So you have to add something, otherwise you'll get an error. So we will add pass. So this function is empty, it just have pass, and we can continue coding without getting any errors. If you or your company needs a web application tailored to your needs, feel free to reach out. I will be glad to discuss the idea.